Hey, Sarah Beth, I'm great. How are you?
Hanging in there. So, what are we talking about today?
So today is all about these recent court orders from our Supreme Court, State Supreme Court Chief Justice Sherry Beasley.
Yeah,
There are a lot of changes that have been happening in our world. Can you believe it's only been a month and a half since this whole thing started?
it feels like an eternity.
It really does. It really does. And so with all of these changes and social distancing and all of this, our access to courts are really limited right now.
Yeah.
Um, and Chief Justice Beasley has told us that she wants us to kind of hit pause for a little bit on most court issues until after June 1st. So I thought we should talk to folks who are watching us. Thank you for being here and watching us. But here's what it means for you. So,
Yeah, that's a great topic.
yeah. Um,
So,
so everyone's feeling a little overwhelmed right now. I know I'm feeling overwhelmed. I said I'm great, but I'm putting positive energy out there, figuring what I put out in the universe, maybe that will actually reflect back to me. But like everyone, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed and taking it day by day. How are you?
same. I feel like I'm hanging on by a string. Being a working mom with a 3 and a 5-year-old who are not in their normal care situation, and husband's also working from home.
Mm.
It's challenging, but at least I know there's some comfort knowing I'm not alone. I'm
Yeah.
navigating these waters just as everybody else is, and it's interesting, but I'm hanging on.
So how are you, for folks like us that are feeling a little overwhelmed, how are you, what tips do you have maybe for kind of dealing with all of this?
Yeah, especially if you're home all day with your children or your spouse or your partner, whoever it might be. You don't have any separation time in the stay-at-home order. You're just constantly together from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. So I think it's really important to take time for yourself, whether that be walking away for 5 minutes and just doing some breathing exercises, or deep conditioning your hair in the shower, painting your nails on the porch, whatever it might be. Just remembering that
Yeah,
you need to take some time for self-care. So
yeah.
just 5 to 10 minutes a day, just taking time away from the crazy insanity of the constant picking up the toys. Just taking a little time for yourself.
I've been trying to
Easier said
train,
than done.
well, I've been trying to train the therapy dog for our office, Riley, who is my family's personal pet, how to pick up his own toys because he drags them out all over the floor. It's not working.
You'll have to teach you some tips for the kids.
He'll gladly pick up the girls' toys. But one of the things that I've been hearing a lot about, and thankfully, you and I aren't in this position, but a lot of our clients are, is there's a lot of issues around domestic violence and being in an unsafe home. So I worry about safety planning and that sort of thing for our clients. Are shelters still available for clients right now?
Yeah, the shelters are still open. I do suggest calling before you just drive or walk over there. But shelters are open. The homeless shelters should still be open. I believe they're taking extra precautions, and domestic violence shelters are still available for you to contact.
Great. And what about just for other legal issues? So we do bankruptcy and family law primarily.
Yeah.
Are law offices open?
Yeah, so I can't speak for all the law offices, but I know a lot of the ones that I know of, including our office, are open. We are working. It doesn't mean that you can just drive up to our office and walk in the door. Our office, along with many that I know of, are just not allowing our clients and the public in without an appointment, and usually that's only on an emergency basis. But that doesn't mean we're not working. We're available via phone and telephone phone and email, our websites and Facebook. You can still contact your attorney most likely, and your attorney probably has a lot of procedures available to deal with you and your needs remotely.
Well, thankfully, we have Miss Veronica Jones, who sits at our front desk, who's still
Yeah.
working with us. And so we have her, and I'm working remotely, and you're in the office. So I'm glad that we're able to still be here. But those who are needing court relief and come to us, are they able to get that now?
Yeah, so the order said June 1st, our courts are closed, but that isn't across the board. So if you need to file a motion with the court or a complaint, I do not suggest you drive over to the courthouse. You really should avoid the courthouse at all costs. I mean, it really is only for emergencies, true emergencies. The clerk's office, their telephone lines are open, their email is working. And so, yes, the courts are open in the sense that you can mail in a complaint or a response. You can call the office of the clerk for assistance. But no, general hearings and things are not happening right now.
So are there things that are happening?
There are. So emergency hearings like domestic violence protective orders, things that are a true emergency custody, those are still being held by the court. So you can still file those motions and notices of hearings. They can actually, if all the parties consent, they can take place over video like we are. So the courts are available if all the parties consent to do it by video, or certain emergency things like domestic violence protective orders are being held at the court, as well as criminal stuff is still happening. So they're not going to just send you off to jail and you'll sit there with no arraignment. Those are happening expediently. They're expediting those hearings, so people do have their due process.
Good. So there's still access to justice, which is what we wanted to assure folks. What about things like mediation? North Carolina, especially in the family law realm, require mediation.
Yeah, so the mediation's still happening, but it's not happening in person. So the court is utilizing WebEx, and so the mediation is happening over video, which can be done on your cell phone or on a laptop or a computer, but you do have to have video access. If you don't have video access, I do believe they'll allow you to call in, but it can be continued, I guess, if necessary.
Okay. So when will all of these hearings that don't fall under the emergency or relief or due process stuff, when are those going to start taking place?
Yeah, so if you had a hearing set between now or even prior to now and June 1st, the court is automatically continuing those hearings to after June 1st. I know that I had one set for May 18th, and the new date is in July. So the court is continuing those to after June 1st. If you need to file something that needs a hearing, you can file it, but the notice of hearing wouldn't be until after June 1st.
So folks can still file all their documents, but they won't be heard until sometime after June 1st.
Right. And that goes, let's say someone filed a divorce and you need to file a response to it, which would set a hearing. Your response doesn't have to be filed until June 1st, close of day on June 1st. So
go ahead.
Yeah, so let's say you had a deadline to respond to something, and the deadline is on this coming Monday. You actually have an extension until June 1st, as long as you have your response in before June 1st. If you can get it in, if you can do the response and stick it in the mail and get it in before June 1st, that's obviously preferred. But if you can't, and you need to go to the courthouse and file it in person, then you can do that up until June 1st.
Great. And do we expect any orders to be issued between now and June 1st?
I don't know. We did just extend our stay at home to, May 8th. And so it's possible they could continue out another order that everything would continue out past June 1st. I just don't know. Do you?
Yeah. No, I don't. I think everything is we're all in this holding pattern together, and trying to, flatten that curve. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I'm sure there will be more to come, and if any updates come, then we can do this again.
Yeah, we definitely can. And if you are out there watching this, me and Michelle, you can always contact us, and we're here to help, even if you can't get to the courthouse. So our website is ibxlegal.org. Our phone number is 252-495-0585. And you can use Facebook message, or you can send us an email at info@ibxlegal.org. We can respond. We can get you through this and figure out what needs to happen.
Absolutely. We're all in this together.
Now I'm going to sing, we're all in this together.
There's so many songs out there that are fitting this right now, but thanks, Sarah Beth. This has been really awesome, and hopefully this has been helpful information for you out there to be able to help you better understand kind of your access to the courts and how we can be of service to you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, y'all.